Phoebe Bridgers is back, and I'm not well.
Hey, how you doing, kid?
Are you from Wardrobe?
No, it's me, Brian.
Yeah.
I've been waiting 6 years for this moment, this feeling of finally getting new solo material from Phoebe Bridgers. We had the Boy Genius stuff, we had a lot of great features, but a follow-up to one of the best albums of the decade so far, Punisher, has been long overdue. Not only is new music coming very soon, but she's also going on tour. It's called The Lost Tour. The poster is giving me some serious extraterrestrial vibes. Alex motherfucking G is joining her for the US portion. Isaac Wood is coming out of retirement for the European leg, and there's gonna be no phones allowed for any of the shows. I watch a lot of old concert footage from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, and the best part of watching them for me is not just seeing a sea of cell phones in the audience, just seeing the audience be fully immersed in the moment with their own eyes and not so preoccupied on capturing it to look at later on a screen. I know I'm sounding like a total old head here, and like I get it, you know, wanting to capture the experience, to be able to relive it and to look at later and to share it with others. I totally get that, I totally understand that, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Billie Eilish recently spoke out in support of cell phones at concerts and how documenting and sharing our experiences on the internet is an important part of this generation's culture. And all of that mostly happens through our phones, which in a way keeps us all connected, which I can definitely agree with, and I think that that is true. But at the same time, I also do feel like being too focused on documenting those moments kind of makes you miss out on being in them as they're happening. Artists like Jack White and Bob Dylan have been the biggest believers of this for years now, and have expressed their disdain with cell phones at their concerts and not wanting them there, even outright banning them altogether. Bruno Mars has a history of being against cell phones. Tyler the Creator had a no phones concert for the release of his album last year. Olivia Rodrigo recently held a secret phoneless mini concert in LA, and I don't really mind that it's just more and more becoming a thing. It's especially so in this rollout that we are currently in the midst of for this new Phoebe Bridgers album that we are gonna be getting sooner than later, most certainly. And it's been one of the coolest and most interesting ways for an artist to make their way back into the spotlight that I've ever seen. It started with flyers appearing out of nowhere in Roswell, New Mexico on May 8th, advertising a Phoebe Bridgers concert. And throughout May, she held these last-minute secret pop-up shows all over the US in small cities with small venues that only hold a few hundred. You had to line up to buy a physical ticket. It was only one per person, and you couldn't bring any recording devices. People quickly started to notice that there was a pattern of the cities that she was hitting up having some kind of history with UFO sightings, which gave us a big hint towards the theme of this next album. I mean, if Stranger in the Alps had ghost vibes and Punisher had skeleton vibes, then alien vibes being next would make sense. All the merch and all the imagery that we've gotten so far is making it very obvious that that's what she's going for with this new era. So she did about 18 shows in the month of May where she played some of the new songs, but unless you were there, you don't know what they sound like. This severe lack of info on the new songs, on a possible album, on where the next show was gonna be, kind of made this whole thing feel like a UFO sighting in a way. Like, we've all just been hearing that Phoebe has been at these shows and new songs are being played from a small amount of other people that were witness, but most of us haven't actually seen or heard anything with our own eyes and ears. Left to question, I mean, if it even exists. Because I mean, technically we're just going off what other people have seen and heard. The music already feels extraterrestrial, with some fans trying to track the whereabouts of it and where it might show up next, as if they are UFO chasers. You had people scouring their town for flyers just to find out if she was gonna be there. This element of discovery made every little piece of info we got that much more exciting. This didn't come without some issues. There was fans reportedly following the tour bus. And there's always going to be those crazy fans that take it too far, but those people are not the majority. Most people were respecting boundaries while still being very engaged in the whole thing and the fun of guessing what city could she possibly be visiting next. I know her team also did instruct the Phoebe Bridgers Reddit mods to remove any post that referenced lyrics of any kind, which I mean, it's not too hard to keep a secret when you're doing shows in venues that only hold a few hundred people. But she capped this mini tour off with a show inside of Madison Square Garden on June 4th, with only a 3-day notice given to people. And what is the next phase of this rollout? Going from the intimacy and mystique of these small pop-up shows to performing in front of 18,000 in a sold-out arena. I don't even know if a phone-free arena show has ever happened, at least not of this size. Not only were phones not permitted, but reporters covering the show also couldn't bring in pens, pencils, paper, or anything like that. Tickets were as low as $1. You had to enter a lottery for the opportunity to buy a ticket, and at least $1 had to be donated to the Immigration Bond Freedom Fund. The staff wrote your section, row, and seat number onto these custom tickets, as well as an art card that fans have been getting through these shows that seem to be making some kind of bigger picture. It could be an album cover, I don't really know. I have no idea, to be honest, but it looks cool. Laura Sandoval from The New Yorker made this gorgeous illustration of the stage set. Those who were in attendance for any of the smaller shows or for this show were able to experience a long gone era of an artist being able to road test new shit without it instantly being available online in seconds for millions to see. They could enjoy a concert without having to look over a sea of cell phones recording the exact same footage, probably for the first time for some people. I think it's a welcome change for a generation that's become so accustomed to it. Somehow, even after 18,000 people were in attendance at Madison Square Garden, zero information has been leaked online about the new music. Maybe they give them the Men in Black on the way out, I don't know, but it's remained hush. I was thinking, it's kind of funny that the last time that Phoebe Bridgers was rolling out a new album is when we were all trapped inside, on our phones, on the internet, and it was such a big part of that album because she couldn't really do anything else. We saw everything solely on a screen. We had to wait over a year to be able to see her play live, and we watched her play songs in empty arenas. We watched her play songs on a live stream at home, in her bathtub. For this rollout, it's like she wants to do the opposite, forcing us out of the house and off our screens to ensure that we experience it in real life this time, making it as offline as possible and ditching the internet cycle norms, because we got far too much of it last time.